Hey, I'm Fred.
And I'm Ant.
And this is Create a Generation.
Create a generation of hype.
Hey, Frederico, what is happening this week?
This week we're chatting with Dave Tran from Guitar Zero to Hero.
If you're doing how-to videos and stuff that you have no interest in or no business talking about, then it's not going to last very long.
Now, Dave is a musician, he is a teacher, and he teaches you, me, and everyone out there how to play the guitar.
Well, he did try and teach me, but I suck, so I gave up. But he's very, very good at it.
Frederico, before we get started, we've been working really hard in the background on our own online course called Change Your College, the online college just for content creators. Check it out at
changeyourcollege.com. That's CHANGER college.com. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Dave Tran from Guitar Zero to Hero, welcome to Create a Generation.
Thanks for having me, Ant. Pleasure as always.
And Fred's here too. Don't forget about Fred.
And Fred and Lee, all you guys, love the Change Your team.
We don't let Lee speak too often on the podcast, but he is lurking in the background.
He does produce it,
We
so
do make him-
he quietly listens
Yes.
and presses buttons.
Quietly listens. And then he cuts out all of the weird, bad stuff.
Lee, come on, mate.
That's Fred.
Which-
Everyone knows it's Fred.
No, it's Lee.
Would you say he's the genius behind the operation?
Definitely not. There are no geniuses here. Speak for us all. There's no genius behind this operation. They let me get on a microphone. Clearly no genius behind that. Hey, anyway, enough rambles. Hey, for people who don't know your channel, Dave, quick, brief intro to who you are.
Yeah, so my name's Dave. I run a channel called Guitar Zero to Hero. So basically I just teach people how to play their favorite songs, how to get good at the guitar. And yeah, it's just a channel mainly focused around guitar. I don't really stray outside of that, but yeah, it's my passion, it's my hobby, it's what I love to do. And yeah, I get to do it for a living, which is awesome.
That's pretty cool. And you've got how many subscribers ish?
Just under 550k. I'm about to hit 550k, I think, probably later this evening.
Awesome.
Thanks.
All right, so take me back to the start. Like, were you in a? Well, I know this. You're in a band.
Yeah.
Is this where it all started? You sort of started creating stuff for your band, or how did you get into this?
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, yeah. Let's go from the start. I guess like I started playing guitar when I was about 13. It was like a challenge by my brother. I didn't have a hobby at the time. My brother was like, "Oh, you wouldn't play the guitar." And yeah, and then I was like, "I'll show you." So I picked it up and I got pretty good pretty quickly. And then so yeah, throughout high school, I joined a couple of bands, played with some of my mates, and one band after high school actually did mildly well. We were mildly successful. We toured the country and that sort of stuff. Recorded overseas, did that sort of thing. But after. And in that band, I actually did all the video work. This is before like vlogging was a big thing. We actually created vlogs. So looking back in hindsight, if we had actually stuck to that, it could have been a different channel I'd be working on. But
was this pre-YouTube? Was YouTube a thing then?
Yeah, so YouTube was a thing, but it was pretty new. So it would have been 2008, 2009-ish. So yeah, and we were releasing videos that were like just under 10 minutes long. These were like vlogs about what our band was doing, and they were kind of comedy based as well. So yeah, that were a lot of fun to put together actually. Yeah, so I guess that's my start in a video. But yeah, after the band, so I went to uni, and then I studied engineering. Thought I wanted to be a structural engineer. Funny story, actually, Prison Break is what kind of nudged me into that direction. I saw Michael Scofield in Prison Break and I was like, damn, that guy's cool. So yeah, I mean, the band was going well at that time as well. I even went part-time at uni for a couple of years because the band was doing a lot of touring and stuff. But so yeah, I had that as a backup plan, the engineering. So I finished that, the band sort of tapered off and finished. And then I went into the engineering field for like 3 years. And then those were probably the most draining 3 years of my life. Nothing against engineering. I know a lot of engineers are amazing people and love their job, but I absolutely hated it. So at that point, I was kind of like, what else can I do? I knew I loved music. I've been doing it for a lot of my life. So I'm pretty sure I saw on YouTube, it just popped up like a guitar tutorial. Like I didn't need to know how to play it, but I just saw this guitar tutorial and then it had like 1 million views and I was like, holy crap. Like, yeah, I watched it. I'm like, I could do this for sure. So I experimented. I just got my MacBook out, just whipped it out. And then I decided just to teach, a new song that just came out. It was like a Mumford & Sons song. I think that's about 5 years ago now. Coming up to 5 years. I put it up, I was like, oh, let's see how that goes. And then like a couple of months later, I came back and it had like 2,000 views, which for me at the time, I was like, holy crap, that's amazing. Like people are actually watching this, providing value. So it was at that moment where I was towards the end of my job. I was already thinking, all right, I need to try something else. I'm going to quit this job. So I started putting out more content and then a couple of months later, I quit my job. So, and at that point I was like, okay, well, I gotta make ends meet still. So I found a part-time job, but then I spent like every night and day basically just filming guitar tutorials, seeing what was new and then just, pushing out content and just trying to teach as many songs as I could at the time. And then 5 years later and yeah, I'm doing it for a living, which is awesome.
Hang on, did you just say you started and then 3 months later you just ditched the engineering career?
Yeah, so people might say that it was a rash decision, but I mean, prior to that, I had dabbled in other like other sources of online income. So I had done a bit of well, first off, I read The 4-Hour Workweek and I absolutely love that book. And I mean, YouTube's not a 4-hour workweek. You do have to do a lot of hard work. But it just kind of opened up my mind to the possibility of doing what you love. And then, so after that, I explored with different, online revenue streams. I was selling ebooks on Amazon for a time. So I was hiring ghostwriters to write these short books on Amazon Kindle, and you could sell them for like $2-3. And that was actually doing well at one point, like, about 3-4 months into doing that, I got, I was getting like about $1,000 a month from just these ebooks. But one of our ghostwriters actually plagiarized a whole book. So, so Amazon actually banned our account. I was doing it with my brother at the time. And then, yeah, I was back to square one. I was like, well, on to the next thing, sort of. So, yeah, I'd already dabbled with other, online revenue sources. But I figured the next goal was going to be Amazon physical products. So at the same time I was trying YouTube, I was also trying Amazon physical products. But I figured if I was going to stay in my job, now, I mean, I don't recommend people just quit their full-time jobs. I had the luxury of living at home with my parents at the time. And then I had saved up a little bit of a nest egg so that I could live off. And then I went and got a part-time job as well, for 2-3 days a week. But so I felt like I was pretty secure. And then, yeah, I jumped into the YouTube and that seemed to be the thing that really took off. I tried a bunch of different things and YouTube was the one that worked. And it just so happened it was the one I was most passionate about. Go figure, right?
With just on the ebooks, what sort of topics were they? Were they related to your interests or just?
No, not at all. So basically, the plan was you go and find a topic that a problem that people want solved, like how to declutter your house. Funnily enough, there was one ebook that was called How to Grow a YouTube Channel. And at the time, I had no idea about YouTube. So here was a book written about how to write a YouTube channel. I'd actually like to go back and read that and see if any of it was true. I'm sure all of it was probably like rubbish, but yeah, so you just pick topics like that, like, yeah, how-to topics, basically. There was like one that was like called Living Off the Grid. But then we also started dabbling in kids' books. So we got a ghostwriter to write Minecraft fan fiction. And that actually did really well too. But as I said, I mean, yeah, when we got banned, that was it. So YouTube was the main thing.
I was going to say, Dave, this is fast becoming one of the most interesting interviews I think we've done. I honestly, I didn't think it was going to go in any of these directions. Right. Okay.
Broadcast burn on every other guest ever. But hey, we love you guys too. Everyone's
started with like, you know, a band that did national touring and recorded overseas, and then did ebooks, and then got banned for plagiarism, but it wasn't really yours. And then you wrote a book on YouTube, even though you had started YouTube, and then it became, oh, here's something worth looking at. So there's interesting stuff there. And
I'd love to get copies of this stuff and see how we could share it with people if you're allowed to. Like the How to Grow a YouTube Channel, I'd love to share that.
My book, yeah, I'm gonna try to dig that up.
Fan fiction.
Minecraft fan. Hey, I actually think I saw a Minecraft fan fiction book the other day, and it was killing it. It was just doing really well. Yeah.
We could reach out to EY Stream, who's a YouTuber that we know is young kid. I think he's 17 with about he's all about Minecraft. Be like, hey, here's a product for you. Let's get Dave and
that's it. There we go. I can just resell that book to him. All that IP. I had about 3 Minecraft books written up, and like the covers were really like, we hired an artist to draw the covers as well. So there's these awesome covers. You know, they look super legit. Like any kid who's into Minecraft would want to read them. So they were the most legit books we did. All the other things were pretty rubbish. Like that YouTube book is definitely garbage, I'm pretty sure.
Amazing. So you clearly had this entrepreneurial mindset and sort of streak just hardwired into you as well. Like it was just a part of your DNA.
Yeah. There was another actual another project that I tackled. So I think my brother suggested that I try creating a website to drive traffic and just get Google ad revenue, so from page impressions and that sort of stuff, like using the ad network. So I was like, all right, what do people like, you know, reading about on the internet? So I was like, oh, movies. And then I always thought, when I watch a movie, sometimes I want a summary of a movie. Sometimes I want to just make sure I got all the points down and understand everything. But I don't want to read this massive like synopsis on it. I just want a good maybe 3 to 4 paragraph summary. So I created a website called Plot Summaries, and then and that failed as well. So I mean, I tried to find a ghostwriter for that, and that was just really tough. But yeah, there was another. So basically, I did try a lot of stuff, and this was even before I quit my job in engineering. But yeah, it just kind of goes to show how much I sort of hated that job. I was like, I gotta try everything to get out of this.
Right. There you go.
I've got this. And your brother, he's just there in the background, just like pushing you over the cliff every time. You can't play guitar.
Yeah,
you can't.
Nah, I have a lot. I have a lot to owe to my brothers, and you know where I am today.
What does he do now?
So I have 2 brothers. One works at Google, funnily enough, and the other one works at Telstra Super. So he works in the investments department or something like that. Yeah. So both of them work full-time jobs. Both of them aren't entrepreneurial either. But the brother who did suggest to me the entrepreneurial stuff, he has dabbled in it. So he dabbled in it, but I went all in, basically. I really went all in. I mean, I quit a job that I spent 5 years studying for. So,
nice. Do you ever bring any of your engineering aspects into your YouTube life?
I mean, at the start, I guess I'd look at the numbers quite a lot. I'd try to really use analytics to help my channel and just see where, I could improve and stuff like that. So I guess that's one aspect. I mean, the engineering side of things was, you work on projects, so there's a lot of project management. So I guess those skills helped me create products for my course that's attached to my website. Just kind of helped me to become organized in general. Because YouTube, like being a YouTuber is quite no one's telling you what to do, so you kind of got to be a manager, and you got to be the manager, you got to be the worker, you got to put on a lot of hats. So I think being an engineer helped me in that regard. Helped me with multitasking and project management skills. And
obviously, you don't look back and think, oh, I wish I kept engineering. You're happy doing what you're doing right now.
Oh yeah, every month I just say to my fiance, I'm like, can you imagine if I was still an engineer? And I just say to her, I would, again, no disrespect to engineers, but personally for me, it drained my life.
You've done this caveat a couple of times. No disrespect to engineer, but it is just the worst. It is just the worst.
No, it just wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. Yeah.
Yeah, the sliding door scenario on that is worlds apart from each other.
It's definitely
funny. It is funny though, because we come across a couple of YouTubers, Mars from the amazing Marsing is a doctor.
Yeah, Dr. Mars.
A doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
he's a very smart guy.
Yeah.
Very smart guy.
And we've had a couple of people who've done other things or trained in other areas, but they ended up here on YouTube.
Phoebe did something. I don't know.
Phoebe was an auditor. She was an auditor from Little Grey Box, and now she does Travel Channel. Yeah. We've had a couple. Ant studied witchcraft and witchery, and now he's on YouTube.
Demonology.
He's putting that into practice, though, right? With that beard of his, God. That's a wizard beard if I ever saw one.
The witchcraft.
I'm working on my way to the wizard beard. We'll be
look out, Gandalf.
Halloween as Gandalf the Grey. I'll have to get some towel cover over there and wizard it up.
Yeah,
I think it's an interesting point though. I think that we all learn really valuable skills from all these different things that we do, and then apply it into this YouTube content creation world.
Yeah.
Your engineering of building these, building your career up, as well as all these little entrepreneurial experiments, failed and successful. Having that mindset is what makes or breaks a successful YouTuber, right? Your story really highlights that.
Yeah, I always think back at all these little experiences that kind of got me to where I am and have helped me to become the YouTuber that I am, and I guess business owner as well. Yeah.
Does it come natural to you teaching guitar?
Teaching guitar?
Yeah.
So I taught a little bit of guitar when I was in high school. So when I was in the band and in between tours and stuff, during the week, I had a few students that I'd drive to their houses and I'd teach them guitar. So I didn't have a crazy amount of students, but I guess I started there. I think the reason why I'm successful is just because I'm very methodical about the way I teach. I include visuals. I'm very descriptive. I break things down into chunks. I just really make it very digestible.
I don't mean to alarm you, Dave, but you sound like an engineer.
As I said, I reckon some of those skills have come across and have helped the way I teach. The way I teach is very specific to my channel, and a lot of other channels. Everyone's got a different teaching style, but a lot of people seem to resonate with my one, which is great. And I had a great comment this morning from someone who bought my course, and he was saying that he's bought 3 other courses and he's going through all of them at the same time. He's saying he said that my one so far is hands down the best, which is it's really relieving to hear that, because you know, you don't want to sell a product to someone that doesn't work. Like I really, at the end of the day, want people to learn how to play guitar and then not need to watch my videos ever again. That's the goal. Like, it's kind of contradictory, but yeah, like I really actually want to help people play guitar.
It's an interesting thing for how-to YouTubers, because a lot of them, you know, are utility based. So people who watch it watch it for a reason, for a short amount of time, and then they'll leave. So that audience building aspect isn't there. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so yeah, as my channel definitely is utility based. So I would say, like, although I have 550,000 subscribers, a lot of those people have already sort of gone through the motions of learning guitar. They're probably good now. They probably don't need me, but they just end up staying subscribed to me. So in one way, like, I guess that's why I want to kind of branch out a little bit. Like that's why I do gear reviews every now and then, because I mean, that's something that any a player at any level can kind of watch and enjoy. So I guess I'm trying to find, in the future, I'd like to do more content that's a bit more broad, as well as doing the help content. Because, I mean, I guess there's a downside to the utility content there. You know, all 550 subscribers aren't coming back to your videos. However, because it's utility content, it's evergreen. I get consistent views. I never see dips. So if I didn't upload for the next 6 months, I'm pretty sure I would get the same amount of views that I am getting right now, because everyone would just be, I mean, everyone wants to play Let It Be by the Beatles, right? Or Blackbird by the Beatles. You know, there's never going to be a moment in history when those songs aren't going to be, people aren't going to want to learn them on guitar. So that's the benefit of utility content. You know, there's upsides and downsides to different types of content on YouTube, I guess. Say if I was a vlogger, I'd come out with a vlog and I'd have a strong fan base. So I'd get all those initial views, but that vlog potentially in like a year's time would be completely irrelevant, and then wouldn't then, you know, generate any more views or income, that sort of thing. So I like that aspect of utility content, and that, and building a library. So I got about 500 songs now, and I mean, the sky's the limit when it comes to utility content, because like I could just keep, you know, how many songs are in existence, you know, who knows? So I don't have I'll never run out of content to create. But having said that, I would like to reach some of those subscribers who maybe have fallen out of touch with me. So yeah, doing a combination of content is a good idea, I think. Yeah.
And I mean, you're talking about, obviously, you'll never run out of content, but do you ever get like requests for songs and you're like, oh, fuck that, I'm not gonna
yeah, I mean, all the time. So
what's the worst request that you get, like a Nickelback song and you're like, no, fuck, no, I'm not teaching you that.
Well, actually, I'm a big Nickelback fan. So
I love Nickelback too. They're the best. I'm so sorry.
Nickelback's that band that I mean, everyone loves to hate Nickelback.
That's
but
true.
The thing is, you all love this. Like, everyone who hates their songs secretly loves their songs. I could play
one song.
I did hear one once, and
that riff.
Yeah, I think the first song I ever heard from them, I thought, oh, this is a catchy song. And I don't know, maybe I started disliking them because everyone else did. Maybe I'm a sheep. I'm not sure. Maybe I secretly love Nickelback, and I'm just like, yeah.
But it's made them a more popular band. Being that band that everyone hates has made them a more popular band than if they were just, you know, just mediocre run-of-the-mill band that's semi-successful. Even though you hate Nickelback, I'll play you 5 of their songs and you'll sing along to them and you'll know them and you'll be like, hey, this isn't so bad at all. You secretly like Nickelback.
Anyway, this is really getting off topic. Anyway, people make requests, right? So they're making requests, and like I was listening to a song this morning called "The Trapeze Swinger" by Iron and Wine, maybe they call it. Like, anyway.
Oh yeah,
and
I love Iron and Wine.
Yeah, it's like a 5 or 6 minute song, and it's just like a giant poem, and nothing is the same in the entire song. I was like, no, I wonder if Dave can teach me this. And I'm like, and then I was thinking, but was this too complicated a song to even learn? Like, do you get stuff like that? You're like, that's just too complicated.
Yeah, so I get a lot of requests and so many requests. I mean, like 60% of my comments are just requests. So I kind of got to I only had a limited amount of time. So I kind of just got to pick the ones that I think the general audience will want to learn, or if there's a good proportion of people out there who would want to learn it. But in terms of complexity, I have chosen songs that are somewhat complex, but I do want to, I'm not going to teach like crazy shred solos, that's outside of my skill level. But, a lot of people hear a song and they think it's complex, but again, this is the engineer in me, but once you break it down into its core fundamentals, it's, there's just a few repeating parts, that are just like arranged in a certain way, and then you only got to learn like 3 or 4 parts, and then everything else is a repetition of that, more or less. So yeah, there are some. I just did a tutorial for Cherry Wine by Hosier, and that sounds like a really complex song to fingerpick and play, but again, I've broken it down, and it's actually a lot simpler than I thought.
Hey, just on that with like requests and what you decide to make, we talk about it a fair bit. It's like, you got to listen to the right feedback and the right audio. Like, how do you, like, if you said most of you, or a big chunk of your comments are people asking you to make particular tutorials on particular songs, how do you decide, like, what's the noisy minority and what should you play? Like, is that like,
if someone comments a request and like I'm familiar with the artist, I'll at least look at their song and see how popular it was, if there's other guitar tutorials for it, and what their demand has been like. So if I look up, like someone requests a song, I'm like, I haven't heard that before, but I'm starting to see a lot of people request the same thing. So I'll give it, I'll just Google it and see. And then, then I'll look up other guitar tutorials, and if I've seen that they've just recently released it and they're getting a lot of views, then I'll be like, okay, I'll jump on that as well, because that's something that's obviously trending. So I just do it case by case. When I start seeing requests pop up again and again, that's when I just go, okay, I'll look this up now. And then every week I also, I scroll through New Music Fridays and just see if there's any like massive artist that's put out a song that has some guitar in it. Cause that was the way I really jump started my, channel. Was, I think the first really big song, that took off, a video that I taught, was, What Do You Mean by Justin Bieber. There was an acoustic version of it. This is when Justin Bieber was like at his peak. It's not like the most guitar head sort of genre of music, but so many people wanted to learn that, and that just sort of boosted my channel. So I always try to look for pop stuff as well, because a lot of people just love busting out the guitar and then trying to pick up girls with
Justin Bieber songs.
Teenage boys.
I just saw Justin
standing outside windows serenading with
pretty much. I did that once upon a time. I used to try to learn Avril Lavigne songs to try to impress girls at school. So
nice. I just saw Justin Bieber's first like song ever, like when he did that cover of a Chris Brown song. I don't recall. And it was crazy because he did it. It was like all in like standard definition, and it was like not really well filmed. And I almost turned it off, and then I just watched it to the end, and I'm like, oh yeah, you can actually sort of see, like, obviously the he does have talent, and he can sing. But it's funny seeing how people use YouTube in different ways to get into the limelight, and there you go, and here you are recording Justin Bieber songs, and the people around the world love you for it.
Yeah.
You know who's a big Justin Bieber fan is Lee, the producer here.
He loves
absolutely.
He's a believer. I think they call it.
Yeah, I think he's one step beyond that. He is, yeah. So, anyway, we'll you'll have to teach him a couple of key songs. But do you think, you're very pleasant in your manner and the approach, and look, you're a very nice person obviously.
Oh, thank you.
But do you ever get like really salty?
You haven't spent enough time around me.
Yeah, well, people like to see like something like a salty side from the creators. Do you ever have it fair? Like, I mean, like release like the 5 crap songs you should never play, and then tell people why they shouldn't want to play them.
That's actually a really good idea for a video. Thanks,
yeah. I'm going to teach you 5 crap songs you shouldn't and do not learn these. Like, I want you to cry all the way through my lesson.
So what did you say? What was the question? Like, do I have a salty side?
Yeah. Well, do you ever like you're very pleasant, but have you thought about like do you want to mix it up and add a little bit of a salty element to it and see what people think?
I reckon I'm a pretty boring person. No, I'm not boring, but I don't have like...
Are you going to blame this on engineering again?
Yeah, I'll blame it on engineering.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying engineers are bad, but they're very boring people. That's all.
I'll blame it on that course. But no, I just don't think I'm really that sort of out there sort of personality when it comes to being on camera and stuff. But having said that, like when I do film stuff and I'm trying to play a song and then like I mess up, you should see the outtakes. You know, I swear so much when I mess up. But yesterday, for instance, I was trying to film a lesson, and I just couldn't get it. It's not a hard song. I'm like, Dave, you should be able to play this, but it was cold. You know, I'd rushed learning it, and I was doing like 20 takes of it. I just couldn't get it. So after every take, I'll swear on the top of my lungs, basically so loud that everyone, like I'm a 2-story house, so you can hear it from everywhere. So that's probably my salty side. Like I do get angry when, you know, I try to be a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to recording, but
And we get this question a lot when it comes to people trying to record for YouTube. Like, what is the base level equipment you need to get a clear recording from your guitar to your laptop or your computer?
The base level equipment, an iPhone is literally all you'll need.
Really?
My first, that's the base level. Like, my first video was recorded off my MacBook Air webcam. This is a MacBook Air from 2011, so it's 720p. It's really like low quality. You know, your camera on your phone is 4K and it's crisp as anything. So as long as you just got a nice, well lit room, you can just record off your phone and you'd be fine.
Even the audio?
Yeah, the audio is not bad off the phone. But of course, like audio is the most important aspect of a YouTube video, I would say. It's equally as important as the video. A lot of people shoot a YouTube video, they think it's all about the video quality, but the audio quality is very important. You know, if you can't hear what the person's saying, if it's like just fuzzy or, you know, low quality, people are just going to click away because, you know, half of that communication is auditory. Like a lot of it's visual, but a lot of the time, the especially for guitar lessons, I mean, but yeah, as I said, like off a phone, the microphone's not terrible. So if you wanted to get started, just one small room, quiet room, well lit, and a phone would be all that you'd need. But if I was to upgrade from there, I would get like a USB microphone or something, and then link the audio and video together.
Nice. And how long does it take you to make a full video from start to finish?
So, well, I got to learn the song, and this is a typical video. So I got to learn the song. That will take me to learn the song myself. It takes me anywhere between, depending on the complexity of the song, like anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour, and then after that, I have to break down the song. So I might understand how to play the song, but the tough part is me trying to convey to the audience, you know, to a beginner, what that means. So that will take me probably another hour to sort of break down the song and format it the way I think a learner could understand. And then I bulk film. So I film anywhere between 3 to 6 videos in one session. And then the editing side of it takes so long, like probably anywhere from 3 to 10 hours per video of raw editing. But yeah, I mean, I've become a whiz at like all the shortcuts and stuff. So yeah, but thankfully now I've gotten to a point where I've got an editor on board to help me out. So he's doing all the hardcore edits, and I'm just doing the filming and the rough cut.
Good stuff. Dave, believe it or not, we've actually run out of time.
Oh no!
Which is quite shocking. I'm sorry, Ant does talk a lot about quality time. But look, we have a quick a rapid fire series of questions before we end.
Yeah, sure.
And I'll start with the first one. So, as mentioned, Lee, the producer, big Bieber fan. What is the one Justin Bieber song you need to know how to play?
Love Yourself.
Love Yourself. Okay, I think that's one of those. Okay, if Ant was a musical instrument, what instrument would he be?
Oh, he'd be a guitar.
Like a banjo?
Yeah, Fender Strat.
Like a banjo?
I was going to say Fender Strat.
A what?
Hang on, I'll grab the guitar. I think Ant is.
Oh, yes.
Please be a banjo.
What are you talking about?
That's actually also Lee's favorite guitar. Yeah.
So this Fender Strat right here, it's a sunburst color. I mean, you guys can't see this right now, but you will in the video. It's got gold hardware. It looks a little bit old, but it's really classic.
I don't know. It's got that hipster vibe to it.
Hipster vibe, nice.
Oh, you had to go there.
Right. Well then,
No.
That leads to my next question. If Ant was in a band, what would his band name be? What would the band be called?
The Ant-Men.
The Ant-Men. Not Uncle Ant and his hipster good times, or something like that.
We can workshop that.
Cool. Actually, we do have a serious set of questions, and that is usually like for anyone starting out or anyone interested in how-to videos, what will be your top tips for them?
I would say number one,
pick a how-to topic or topics that people are going to actually want to learn. So you don't want to teach something that only 2 people in the whole world want to know. So do a little research, see what the popular topics are out there, and do what's going to be popular, I guess. The second tip I would have is do how-to videos that you're passionate about. If you're doing how-to videos and stuff that you have no interest in or no business talking about, then that's just going to shine through in the camera and it's not going to last very long. And then third tip, try not to waffle on. Try to keep it clear, concise, and to the point. You don't want to bore people. As soon as someone clicks off your video, you've lost them. Yeah, that's not good on YouTube. So yeah, you want to achieve the goal of teaching them what they wanted to know when they came to your video.
Well done. I think Ant
that's good.
Likes those too. I think Lee I think everybody likes those tips. They're good tips. I don't think we've ever got a tip that I said, oh man, that's a. Sometimes they like creators will contradict each other and say different things, but I don't think I've ever got one that I was like, that is a really bad tip.
We just that anyway.
Yeah, we would edit it out. It's like my top 3 tips are beep, and there's like nothing there. It's like, we didn't agree on any of those people's tips.
Audio cut out.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye. It comes from everyone's experience.
It
right?
does. It does.
So,
yeah. Dave, thank you so much for joining us. It's been actually a very good interview. I say that again, like every interview is bad. The next one's going to be better.
It's Fred just patting us on the back, saying, "We did a good job, didn't we?"
We did a good job.
We did.
Dave, I think you appreciate how good a job we did, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. You asked all the right questions.
Thanks.
No, I really appreciate you guys having me. Like, it's always great chatting to you guys, and like, I'd be happy to jump on any other time you'd want me.
Well, we'll have
on the podcast.
We will have you again in a new format.
Yeah, I mean, I could keep talking about this all day, really. Like, yeah, when you love YouTube, you could just go on for days.
Oh, and what a perfect way to end. Dave, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, thanks, guys. See ya.
Generation, look on the mic.